may be able to use it to track their location. We find them, we find Shredder. Put them all in shackles.
As long as we all have a hot
Yeah, Ruby motion has started supporting for Android. If you press it that when Ruby motion started, so just for iOS. Then after some time, 2 years later, press it on Android. So before then, Google was what to go to for pricing for Android. Now the guy in the middle is the next person and doing it. That's Apple. But it's used for building internet. I mean, of course, not internet of things that all those awesome stuff. Robots. So with Apple here, you can use it to program Arduino, you can use it to program microchips. And I'm currently saving money to buy one and then those interested. You can always pay applications. Now the guy on the right is Google, it's mostly to the Google. Let me talk about it. So what's Ruby motion? Ruby motion is not a framework. Ruby motion is not a language. Just basically a toolchain. Toolchain for doing what? For writing cross-platform apps, iOS apps, Android apps, OS X apps, all in Ruby. Now the interesting thing about it, which is the most fascinating thing about it, is that these apps you write, they are native apps. And native apps like they interact directly with the hardware of the code you are using. So in mobile development, there are basically three kinds of apps. There's normal web apps that we do. That's the one that people do m dot something on their website and then make it as mobile responsive as possible. Then there's a hybrid app. That is the one that is built with things like say Ionic, Kuka, React Mobile, and stuff like that. Then we then have native apps. The ones you put out with Swift, Objective C, Java, that's for Android, or C++. So okay, I'll still talk about the downside later. For each of these three apps, there are downsides. Like the mobile and the web app, they don't have access to some SDKs and some APIs. Once in the middle, they have access to some, but not to all. It's like something like here, you have access to it. Now, for native apps, give users more experience, better food. So that's one of the things. The another thing is that the binary is great at system. So one of the questions that usually come around is, hey, you all know that Ruby is get it from other languages like that. But Ruby motion is not, the Ruby motion is not Ruby. It was written to interface directly with runtime, Java platform. So the binaries are statically compact, unlike normal Ruby, right, which is static. So at the end of the exact same binary that we have ended up started with objective C or so Java I get simple. So so down there at the footer, I added a picture of this wonderful guy that made this possible. Name is Lawrence Sansonetti. Worked at Apple for 9 years. While at Apple, he maintained Apple's, it was Apple's official tool for writing for OS app. Zero. Currently, no longer supported. So Ruby motion was built up of it, and Apple is open source because of the ones. So why should you be interested in Ruby motion? So like any keep up for anything because we all know that's anything. So this is just a diagram to tell you how root motion interact or get as it interacts with the iOS program. So at the top level, you see the iOS SDK, the ECDC, the foundation framework, then the Objective-C runtime. So it is this runtime that both Objective-C and root motion put into. So there's really no what's it called speed labs or constraints there. Not as if the Google writes to the so just direct comparison. So then this is the chart for the Android tool. So at the top you see the Android API. Then you have the Dalvik chart. Then you have the Java native runtime. Now, unlike iOS, the root motion doesn't compile directly to the Dalvik runtime. But the first compiles to Java native interface. But like Java, both of them get links and Dalvik get. So just a form of motivation. I just showed you an Objective-C code. Then what that same code will look like moving motion. So just three lines. About this minus space of because the one that appears files, right? So at this point, I plan was to demo to have that I wrote to you, but for lack of time, I will go over this and then when we do that one, we'll just get a feel about this. Then at this point, I'll give some fair warning, right? Caveat, using. And the first one is that Ruby motion is not good source. That big no sponsor good. Now, which makes sense, right? Because they have to do something. If it's something really amazing, and if you compare it to say the $29 you have to pop up to advertise it, just to make like that. It's not that a drawback, right? Compared to what you get, motion apps and everything. So Ruby motion is partly open source and partly commercial. So the runtime and the compiler are proprietary stuff. So those are not available for every other it's available. But why is it not available? In case you're interested, the compiler and the runtime will look at the map. So you can just figure it out and see what I'm not available. Now, I'm not all the things available. Now, Ruby motion them are built because Ruby motion is the implementation of so you can't just this will go an extra mile and do an extra thing. But to wrap well. Now the next thing is that some of our meta programming are not available. And that is a vast statement. Now for those that are in meta programming, whereby you have class distance they're not available. And we understand why it shouldn't be available. Most of these things are defined at runtime, but Ruby motion doesn't get interpreted yet from that. So all those definitions you do will be available. So there's no support. Then the other stuff is you still need to learn the iOS and Android SDK depending on which part. Why you need to do that is unlike something like Punga or say I don't remember you build apps with HTML and CSS. In this case, you're actually writing 80 code in this language. So if you are consuming, say, you're building apps to say iOS, you have to understand the iOS SDK, which methods are exposed at this point. How do I connect to, say, the media store, how do I connect to this? So it's not like you around with that. You actually need to know this right. Then, yeah, so understanding of getting to and one I need to add is that the motion community is not as large as gold. Right? So it's a good thing in the sense that like you get immediate answers, you get better interaction, like that's a question. Before I started doing motion, I sent a mail, I was like, yes, I've checked out your repo, it doesn't look active yet, or is this thing still supported? And less than 5 minutes I got a mail to account like this, and this is what they're planning, this is their next line, So the community is active and very smooth. Now, I think yeah, so the contract. So we'll build these two apps available to build it now. The first one is for Android, the Android Paint. So basically what it is for just a normal paint. You can paint colors, write in different colors and stuff. Then the other one on the right is the tic-tac-toe game that we know. That one will build that one for iOS. So I would like to start with which one should we start with? Paint. So for paint, we need to we'll have to exit this sharing and go to the terminal. Like I might need your help. So if you don't have try to get close to somebody that has Ruby motion and let's play together. I want to start, so you need to. Yeah. So like I said, Ruby motion is. Are we together? Okay. So like I said, Ruby motion is terminal based, right? So you do work at the terminal, work at the. So I use Atom. I like Atom, and sometimes I do Vim, but most often times I'm on Atom. So let me go to my. What would be? Let me do. So I have a folder Ruby motion. Let me play around there. Yeah. So to start up your Ruby motion app, you just basically with Ruby motion installed. The next thing you just need to do is just do motion create. For those of us that use Rails, we are happy with generators, right? So Ruby motion has a couple of generators for you to play around with. So motion create. Now it's at this point that you decide where you are going. Are you going to Android? Are you going to iOS? Are you going to OS X? By default, Ruby motion defaults to iOS, but since you are doing Android, you go the Android route. So here, to use Android, just do dash template is equal to Android. And then you enter a name for your app. So let me call it Lagos Paint. So let's say Lagos Paint. So it creates a lot of boilerplate for us. So let's seed into the app, cd Lagos Paint. So let me open that one. Let's see what we have there. So basically it creates so Ruby motion is this rec file is like the settings of your Ruby motion app. Here you can tweak what it looks like, what you should do, the device you are targeting, and everything around there. Then we have the gem file, the normal gem file whereby you add gems that you want to use. Then git ignore. Yeah, I forgot to mention. Now Ruby motion, like what's it called? A faithful Ruby toolchain. It has support for test and writing test. So it ships with a version of RSpec called Bacon. So and interesting enough, once you generate an app, it generates at least one test for you. And the fun part is that this test will be failing. So the creator of Ruby motion expects you to build your app from at least solving first this failing test and then you continue. So if you look at the test, it's just like your normal aspect, but it has some tweaks. But this is not where we depend. This is our main focus, the main activity. So I won't talk much about activity and Android. The Android guys should know more about it. And if you want to get, you have a question?
Yeah, I got through to the test app the Lagos page.
What did you type?
Motion create /template Android Lagos page.
Is there a space?
Yeah, after the.
So Lagos space paint.
No, Lagos paint.
It shouldn't be. But just work on the one for Lagos paint. I will look into it later.
I think
Yeah, dash dash template is equal to 100. Yeah, yeah. So this is the entry point to your app, the main activity. Now this is where we will add the codes we need and everything. So to make our work faster, I've already written out the snippets of code we use, and I gave it to the organizer. So organizers, if you can help me paste the first, there's one that is titled 1 for Android. So just quickly, where are you pasting it? Yeah, so just paste it there. So let's go there and copy the first code. Basically, what the first code we do is just, yeah, the Android snippet. Is it pasted? Have you shared it? You can't, or should I do that? Okay, while he's looking for his mouse, so I still have it here. So let me quickly share it. So where? Okay, so on Hangouts. So I posted the code on Hangouts. Are you posted on Lagos on Rails? Okay, so if you copy that code snippet, so on our main activity, you notice we just have on create then super. So basically, when this main activity is created, super makes a call to just normal super, to the parent class that is defined in the Java API. So we don't need to mess with that. So under super, paste the code that you copied. So basically, it's just to create a layout. So after we create the layout, we just do self dot like paste that to from the one under one. So basically, we've created our first layout. So let's go see what you've done so far and make sure that it's working. So you go back to your terminal, and then you just type rake. It's actually rake device, but rake for short triggers it. So I just do rake. So at this point, if you have a mobile phone that's already configured for develop, you can just plug it in and do rake device. So rake device will push the code over to your mobile phone and you can test it out in real time. No extra addition or anything. But I don't have a mobile phone that runs Android. I use a Windows phone. Yes, I have one. So I have a I have a question.
The code I just copied, just the first part, right? The number one part.
Which one did you pasted everything? No, now like it's in bits by bits, so we'll go through it. So number one.
Under that super.
Yeah, under that super. Just like I have there. Just you have layout, you create the layout, then you add an orientation to layout, then you add it to content view. So those looking at my screen notice I had an error. Now why is because when I did rake device, it viewed it and then it's trying to look for where to push it. Now there's no phone connected and there's no emulator running. So but for this I'm using Genymotion. The Genymotion is an emulator for running Android development. So let me quickly hook it up to the emulator so that we'll see. So I open my Genymotion, then I'll start the RubyMotion emulator. So it's building. Now another thing is the free version of RubyMotion allows you to only support API version 23 of the Android APK. Version 23. So like phones, version 23 I think is from 6.0 up, I think. So things like 4.4, 4.5, you can't build for them until you get the full license. So my emulator is up. So let me run it again. I still expect one error, but it doesn't come. Thank God.
There's no way to automatically detect the 100 code.
Hmm?
But automatically detect.
Yeah, if an Android phone is connected, yes. So my emulator is running. So I have a blank screen, just white, with the name of the app, Lagos Paint there. So let's make this app more useful, right? So it's working fine, no error.
What happened to the second error?
So the second error I was expecting was it's actually from Genymotion, right? Genymotion supports only I think architect 84 bits or so. So is it 84 or 86? Sorry, 86 rather. So 86. So oftentimes you need to what's it called, specifically add it to your rake file to be like this build also includes that for 86, so that when it's compiled, it generates 86 bits binaries for Genymotion. It works fine. So so let's go get code 2. Let's add some more stuff here. So get to the code that was pasted, and then let's get the create paint view class. So basically, I'll get that code, then just paste it after the layout orientation. Let me format it so that it looks nice. Yeah. So if you notice that this thing is equal to the paint view class. Now, number 2. So if you notice that it's making a call to a paint view class, which we don't have yet. So we'll quickly create that class. So the paint view class is a normal Ruby class that inherits from Android view paint. So let me just do touch app slash let me call it paint.rb. So let's just create a file, paint.rb. So let me go open it up, paint.rb. So let me go copy number 3 now, and then paste it into the new file I created. So just basically paint.rb inheriting from Android view. That's all, just normal inheritance. So let's get to number 4. That's where it gets interesting now. Now number 4 sets up the touch detector for the Android phone. Chief, can we have number 4? Okay. So I paste number 4 in. So basically what it does is, now on touch event is a default method from the Ruby API. So like, okay, maybe later I'll just talk about how the APIs work in general. So basically they call into your app, unlike libraries that you make call to. So like something like Rails, say before hook, after hooks, these are calls into your own app. But if say you're using a library, say something like Faraday or something like say Pry, you make a call into Pry to do something. But for frameworks and like this, they make a call into your app at various times in the life cycle of the app. So you can hook into these various times to do something. So on touch event means when a touch happens on this view, it will look for something to call. So if you've created that hook, it calls that hook. So now this guy is inheriting from a view. One of the methods available for a view is on touch event. So we are trying to hook into that on touch event. So what are we trying to tell it to do? When a touch event happens, get the coordinates of that touch event. Now, check the type of event that happened. Did the user press down? If the user pressed down, it means that you are trying to start a new line. If the user's hand just continued moving, it means you have to continue drawing what you are drawing before. Then otherwise, if it's not any of this, stop whatever you are doing. That's basically what that long code is doing. So the first case is when the action is done. That's when the user wants to start drawing. So basically, we create a new object of the graphics class, give it the coordinates of where the user touched, create a new object of the paint, assign it the colors, random colors, then what's it called? Random style with stroke, then paint alias through, and add it to an array. So eventually this array will contain all the strokes that the user will make. And then the other case of the case statement is if the user hand is just moving, just keep drawing, Nothing much. So let's go get number 5. So number 5 is on draw. So number 5 is another hook into the Android life cycle. So basically what it does is, if I want to redraw the view, this hook will be called. So if something happens to redraw the view or to warrant that the view be redrawn, this hook will be called. So if you look into the earlier code we posted, you see something like invalidate. So whenever that invalidate hook is called, it triggers for the hook for the view to be redrawn. And then these are hook basically look through all the lines we have in the path and then just present them on the screen. So I think this is a good time to test our app. So let's go back and test what we've done so far.
Sorry. From this, the invalidating state, I only upload from behind. So that means that we don't lost everything when you start.
So basically what invalidate does is to tell the app to redraw the view. So you know that this is what invalidate does. So depending on the app you are building, you decide where you call invalidate. Now the app we are building is when somebody draws a line, when somebody moves his hand along the screen, we want to draw a line to follow it. So basically, once there is a change in where his hand was, we want the view to be redrawn to add an extra mark to the new position, like that. But if you notice the else statement of that case sentence, we need there is no invalidate there. So that means there's nothing to redraw. Whatever he did, we are not concerned about it, right?
So if you don't really touch it, everything still stays.
So look at the case under the touch when action down. Action down doesn't call invalidate. It just takes note of that position where his hand is. So in the event that his hand now moves, or we say, oh, he wants to draw. But if it's just a touch, we don't refresh the screen, just touch it. The only time we need the screen to be refreshed is if he starts dragging his hand along the screen. So let's go see what we've done so far. Go to your command line and then you type rake. So normal, it compiles, does everything, builds it, signs it, and then prepares to send it off to the emulator. Wait for it. So basically with this, we finish what we want to build, but there's just one little feature we'll just add just to show something up, right? Or something small. So the emulator is running now. Let's see what we have. So we still have our white paint, but by now we expect that we should be able to draw, right? So let's try drawing. So I click, I drag. So it's working fine, right? So if you draw again, wow, another color. So who knows why the colors are changing? Exactly. Wow, you guys are following. So so we have our paint, right? So you can have your own app and deploy it now. You have your own paint. You can use it for taking text and messages. Then if you have a phone that runs 6.0, you can quickly hook it up and deploy it and use your hands to play around. So there's one thing we want to add now. So we have all this on screen. What if I want to start afresh? Like now I wrote nonsense, but I wanted to say hello Lagos on Rails, right? So let's add a clear button so that if you click it, it just clears your view and everybody's happy. So let's go back and copy the remaining part of our code. Require to do the favors. So we'll copy number 6 and 7. So first off, we'll create a button so that if you click on that button, it triggers for the view to be refreshed. So we copy it and then we'll paste it in the main activity file. So main activity. So basically what this guy is doing is create a button, call it, set the text to clear, add an, what's it called? You on-click listener, tell it to call self when the guy is finished and all that and all that. Then you copy number 7, which is the on-click listener itself. So this is a separate method on its own. So just add it there. So on-click listener is calling a clear path method on the paint class. So we need to go there and add that method so that it will work. So we get to the paint class. and then add the clear path method. So let's just add it here. So basically, what is it doing? It clears that array for us and then withdraws the whole view. That's all. So let's go see it in action now. So let me quit this one. It's actually exit, right? So let's run rake again. And then we have our first Android app. I know I'm very fast, but we'll still talk more later. Just block me and then we'll look into it. We are done with the app. We just want to. Oh. So our emulator is up. So let's try draw. I'm not really a good artist. Hello. Somebody should say hi now. So if you notice down at the emulator, there is a clear button that is at the base. So if I just click it now, it should wipe everything and I can start a pressure. Wow. And everything. Wow. So you can build a cleaner, right? Yeah? How did I? So if you notice where I added it. Notice where I added it. So if you notice that the default layout of so this is taking us into the Android SDK. So the default layout is vertical. So basically, as I add items, they kept getting stuck. Now the last item I added on that layout, is bottom. So it gets to the bottom. Now as I was, what's it called? This chief showed me that's the jobs. So it can be vertical, whereby if you're adding to just be stacking like this. So if I alternate the position of that button and then the view, button will go up, and then the view where I draw will be on that. So that's that. So let's quickly go over to the iOS. Do I have time to do that for iOS? Okay, yeah, that one will be a breeze. So for the iOS, now those that aren't able to follow because of the Android SDK, you should be able to follow this because it's basically using S code. In as far as that's a drawback with Ruby Motion, right? You gotta be using Mac to enjoy it. So Ruby Motion. So for that one, Chief, could you help us with the GitHub? So quickly clone that project already on GitHub. So for this one, I'll just walk you through the commits, just basically like 5 commits. So at this commit, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened, and then we are done. So what we are going to build now is a very simple game, tic-tac-toe, with colors, green, white, player one wins and stuff. What I want to emphasize here is how simple and easy it is to build apps with Ruby Motion. You can switch between, maybe you are tired and say, let me do for Android. After you're like, let me switch over to iOS. If you bless, you can even go as far as OS X. It's awesome. So please, have you cloned the repo? Sure. So while you are cloning, let me quickly check out to it. I have it cloned already. So let me exit. Have you pasted the link? So thanks, man. So okay, I have about 6 commits, but let's just walk through it. So let's go to the first initial commit. So if you are following me, you can check out, or if you don't want to check out, you can just watch me explain what we have. So okay, I've checked out the initial guide. Let's see what we have at that point. So, oh shit. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, I did a presentation about this at M55 Andela. So I basically walked through iOS. So that's why I won't spend much time about that. Here we built a simple timer app with it. So we already know how to build up with iOS with Ruby motion for iOS. So permit me. So, but basically, if you want to start afresh, what you just need to do is just to do motion create your app to generate the iOS boilerplate by default. So basically, the entry point into the iOS app is the app delegate. So from there, you now start making calls to your other views, your view controllers, your models, and what have you, your storyboards, and yeah. So the demo we did before, we built it out using S code, using storyboard interface builder. But this one we'll do it just code, all code, all code. So let's do this. So I've checked out initial commit. What I have at initial commit is basically at the app delegate level. Sorry, let me close all tabs. Close all. So this is where this is the first place the app calls. This is the first place that the Cocoa framework calls into your app. The application, the finish node. So what basically did there is that we initialize the view, the frame, created a new controller, board controller, then made it visible and allow it to receive touch events. So let me quickly show you this board controller. So board controller is wrong, but basically what it's doing is just setting up the 3x3 grid for the tic-tac-toe. So it creates a square size 80, there's an array of 3 colors, it view load, super, then call init views. So what does init view? What does init view do? Basically, it loops through the squares, creates. So you have two for loops nested each other. So basically, what they create like this, they play like this. So that's basically what it does. So and then we add it to the board. Yeah. Okay. So okay, actually, I need to apologize for that. So currently, my programming this thing has been between camel case and and snake case. So for this for Ruby motion, most of the codes are with camel case, and that is largely because the Objective C and Android are camel case. So to map to those methods and to avoid, but Ruby land we know is snake case. So some of them is from Ruby land, some of them is from foreign land. So so we play around with it. So let's quickly see what I've built so far. So let me go run rake. Interesting for both of them, iOS and Android. You see your normal rake, guys. So let's do rake. This should be faster because I'm not using any emulator for this one. So it starts the iOS code simulator. So proudly made the Ruby motion, start edition. Please don't crash, please don't crash. Yeah, it did crash. So basically, this is what we created, all those 4 loops. So just this board doesn't do anything now, blah, 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 blah. Is anybody doing this? Oh, okay, so that's fine. Okay, let me quickly run through it. So if you... Nah. You, yeah? Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. This is Ruby. We have a library for. Yeah, I also failed to point out something, right? So what I'm putting you through, I need to apologize in the end because there are really easier ways to do this. There is a Rails-like framework for Ruby motion, both for iOS and both for Android. It's called Blue Potion. Blue Potion is for Android. Red Potion is for iOS. So basically, it has generators, it has generate views, and this one that I'm doing style, I'm doing it like this. You actually write your style using CSS, normal CSS that you know, and then you have jQuery like calls to all these guys. So, but I just want us to understand the fundamentals. So please do forgive me, but let's make progress. So where we added those styles is, if you notice, we already have view.background color. We gave it a gray color, right? So let me quickly change it to black color so that you're not. Okay, let me even show something, right? Let me not change it from here. Let me show you how you can affect your app in real time. So I'm not happy with this gray color. I prefer black, right? So I go, where's that guy? So if you hold command and hover over the app, you notice that some things get highlighted in red. So let me select the view, the big one. I just click it. So if you go back to your repo, you'll notice that it has switched to that UI view. So at that point, if I do self refers to that UI view I clicked on. So let me quickly check the background color. Let me do self.background is equal to UI color dot black color. Oh no, let me go crazy. Let's do red. Yeah. So let's go back and see what we did. And there we have our red color. Right? So in runtime you can change anything as you like, sharply around, and then when you find the one that match, move it over to code. So let's make it time spent. So let me check out to the next commit we have there, which is the one for adding labels. Let me quickly leave the one for labels. So basically what labels does is add player 1 here, player 2 there, and some other textual information. So let me just move on to the one that creates a method for starting a new game. So please forgive me, I have to do this. So I've checked out to a new commit. So what does this new commit bring? So basically what this new commit brought was this new method here that creates a new board and set the current player to 0. So this was the label we skipped before. Basically just to add a label, and there's no phone there. And then it brought in a new model, the board model. Now the board model is, so like I said before, iOS follows the MVC framework. So you have your models, you have your views, you have your controllers. So here, our model will be like the guy controlling everything that's happening on the board. So he's the one to decide how somebody won, who is playing next, and stuff like that. So currently it's just empty. So nothing else has changed code-wise. God bless you. Is this link I'm not using?
Maybe it should come here.
So, yeah. So that's basically what this commit means to the game. So let's check out another one that's more interesting. So what this one does is basically simple. It just fleshes out the controllers for what's it called, receiving touch events. So if you get to the first controller, you see that it has grown a bit. So basically the main thing we added at this point is this touches ended. And then you pass in touch and event. So basically what is checking for is sorry for that. So what's checking for is the validity of the touch. So if you touch on another person's square to tell you illegal move, you touch on a square that is empty, it accepts the move. If you touch on a square that okay, so if you touch on a square that is empty, it accepts the move, and then check whether by that touch did you win the game or should you just follow it. That just works. So that's why you have that call check for winner at the end. So it's board of game over, return on less winner. So basically very, very simple stuff. So we're almost done. So let's get to implement game over check. This one just fleshes out the models. What does this mean? This one just basically brings in the game over method. So game over method is normal method. So you see that it's kind of long. Checks each of the grid. Is grid I equal to grid 2, grid 2 like that. If there's return the person like that, checks it like this, checks it like this, checks it like this, like always. That's just what it does. And then whether to accept the move or not, like I said earlier, the move to let down or that's basically what I got. So I think we are done. And then finally let's add color to this guy. Let me just take out yes. So now our game is finally complete. So what this then does is for each press you make, if that click is valid, or if that touch is valid, to change the background color to your own color. Right? That just basically what it does. So let's test it out. See, let's run rig. Yeah. So the simulator is there, all black, all sad. So let's try. What is our effort? I done green, right? So player 2 does red, player 3 does green, player 2 does red, player 3. So for now, I let nobody win, just so the one of win. So green, green, red. Okay? Okay, good. So now let's try. Let's try to make it to see. Yeah, we are on. So I didn't play well, right? I couldn't. So let's just make it. Okay, let me try now so that nobody. Let me conscious of that. I put green there. Ah, no, let's put green there. Nobody won. Yeah, it's a draw, right? So nobody won. So player 2 wins like that, like that, like that. It's actually basic, just build it out to show out how you. So this iPhone 6, the other one for Android, just to show you get give you a feel of what. So now, let me see whether there's anything still remaining last time. But don't wait, don't wait. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you very much, Oscar, for that wonderful insight into how we can get to use device application. I believe we've gained one or two things, and for those of us that still have questions, and really walk up to us now, walk up to you and chat with them about this. So, few announcements. If you are not yet on Lagos on Rails Slack channel, please visit our website, lagos.com, and see a particular call to action that adds it to you get to add yourself to the Slack channel, you get to fill the box, and automatically use the way to sign into our Slack channel. So feel free to ask any question you have. Also, you can have access to these presentations. Also, the second part of this presentation is really on moving on. So, the full video is on YouTube. The link will be shared. Those of us that don't have the link will be shared on Lagos on Rails Slack channel. And it's been a wonderful time on this place. I appreciate you all for coming. We want to say this that the next edition, let us try as much as possible to be there on time, that we can maximize time very well. And also, we are challenging us to get our hands dirty, try out these things that we plan to do, try out Docker, get to give resources, more resources on hands on the channel, try out Docker, try out Fusion, try out stuff, and be enthusiastic about sharing all of these things on our Slack channel. Well, we have finally come to the end of this wonderful event. I would say congratulations for making this event.
Please let's go around to
Yeah, let us do the form in case you don't feel our need yet. Let us try and do it. Okay. Just on handout, send us a just put your email or name on handout. Oh, That's from lighting.
Lighting.
Oh, take the question. Slack the Lagos. Thank you, everyone.